doing that?
Yeah, just talk. Just
Okay.
so Joe hears you.
Okay. Let's see. We can go outside here. Let's see. So yeah, the irrigation system was not operational at all. So I turned on those valves, and there wasn't even a place to switch on. Like there was no switch for the pump or anything like that. So
Okay.
So the roof, and I have good pictures in here. You see where it's like kind of sloping downward there,
Yeah.
in the middle, and you see how the soffit vents are kind of bending downward, and
Yeah.
like it looks like they made some like repairs.
Yeah.
See how like they're screwed in, and like you see that screw right there, and like nailed. They did some. I think they attempted to do some repairs here. I couldn't take that off, but. When I was on the roof itself, it was sagging and like it was very unstable right there. I don't know if it's missing, maybe there was an old support post here at one time or something like that, but this whole area, probably from the eave from about halfway here over to here, is like really flimsy.
Oh, okay.
And there could be some damaged structure back there that we can't get to. I do know over here on this side that
Yeah, I see the separation there
you
too.
see how it's sagging down there? That was already like that when I got here, and I was able to kind of pull that down a little bit and look inside, and there was some rotted fascia beam, you know.
Yep.
So I would have like a contractor or a roofer that can do this type of work on eaves and take that off there and see what's going on back there, and then also on this side. Everywhere else looked like it was pretty well intact around the perimeter, but those are my main focal points here for you.
Yeah.
The roof, according to the permit on file, is 4 years old. So it's a modified bitumen, so flat roof system. Typical life expectancy is in Florida is like 10 to 15 years. The area above the carport here is kind of, it looks like there was some evidence of ponding. So you have a good pitch everywhere else. You have good drainage everywhere else except here in this area. And that material is kind of already starting to blister a little bit, and like just because of the standing water, you got a little bit of cracking. But maybe just get a roofer to maybe put a crown here or some type of pitch, so you have proper drainage above the carport area.
Okay.
So, okay. The main disconnect for the house is it's an older fuse, which is obsolete. Insurance companies don't like those, so I recommend getting an electrician to come out and replace that. It's in the exterior back there, right above where the irrigation pump is.
Is it where it connects to the wires that go to the pole?
Yeah, the main entrance panel.
Okay.
So it's an old fuse. All right. So the main distribution panel, however, in the house was updated in recent years. They're still utilizing the older main entrance cloth-covered cables. I know insurance companies sometimes don't like those. They are in good shape and intact, so I don't see any issues with it, but just have an electrician come in and further evaluate those.
Yep.
So it's the main feed coming in into the house. There were a little bit of frayed areas on the outside, but the inside it looked like it was still in pretty good shape. It's all copper distribution wiring, so that's good. It looks like pretty much all the outlets in the home are those dual receptacles, so they're all open ground. And then there was one in the kitchen that by the sink there that needs to be GFCI. You have one GFCI on the right side of the sink, but one on the left is not. And then the ones in the bathroom were GFCI, and they tripped when I tested them, so those are good. But I recommend GFCI in the kitchen, GFCI out here. This one outside here is actually a reverse polarity connection.
What's
So
that?
that's when the hot and the neutral are swapped. So what that means to you is if you plug something in there, it'll probably work, whatever component you have there, but you just run the risk of shorting it out. So it's just important to have an electrician just correct that.
Okay. And that's this one?
This one right out here.
Oh, okay.
I have a photo of it here and a description on where it's located.
Yep.
So. AC unit's 35 years old.
So it is, yeah.
So
I know it didn't look original, but it looked really old.
yeah, it's 86. So it's blowing good. I mean, temperature split's perfect, believe it or not.
She said she had the capacitor replaced.
Yeah, so, but yeah, condenser unit, air handler unit, it's planned to budget to replace soon. All right, and it needs a safety switch float valve on the condensation line in there.
Okay.
They got that little pump underneath, but I don't trust those. Those work like half the time. So just recommend getting an HVAC contractor to install that if you plan on utilizing that any further. We already talked about the sewer scope, so I just recommend you get a sewer scope performed. I did see the cast iron vent stack, so more than likely it's cast iron, running through. I did not see like a new clean out anywhere in the front there, so it's more than likely cast iron all the way to the city sewer.
So your scope only goes to.
I don't have a scope.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I recommend one.
Okay.
So yeah, just have I inspect all the distribution piping
Yeah.
and everything, but yeah, always recommend a sewer scope.
Okay.
So 100%. And the water heater is an 03, so 18 years old. So typical life expectancy is 10 to 15 years. It was getting like 102, 103, so it was acceptable temperature, but just plan to budget to replace all that soon.
What's normal for the hot water heater?
About that.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
working. It's just.
Yeah, it's just older. This was unplugged. It looks like it's cooling. So that looks like it's functional. The oven worked, the cooktop worked, but this burner right here did not turn on. This little knob stuck here.
Okay.
I ran a cycle on the dishwasher. It was working good. You have a leak on the sink there. And then the oven worked fine. So, yeah, it's an old oven.
Yeah.
And then